this lesson is on the vertex form of a quadratic. Okay, so we've already learned our standard form of a quadratic. Now we're going to look at vertex form. And I want you to brace yourself because there are 3 forms. So in your next video, you're going to talk about a different type of form. So there's 3 different formulas that you need to memorize. Alright, in this video, we will define and identify a vertex form for a quadratic function. We will look at the effect of a part of the vertex form that it has on the quadratic. And we will calculate the vertex from vertex form. Here we go. Now, I've divided it into 3 parts for us to kind of break it down for us. So part 1 is just, what is vertex form? We need to know the formula that we have to memorize. Okay? So this one should be familiar to you. Let me make sure you can see that. Yep, you can see it. Standard form, f of x, we could also say y, ax squared plus bx plus c. You should be dreaming about this by now, okay? We're familiar with that. We can see it. It's good. All right, here's vertex form. Vertex form. There it is, okay? Move that guy up a little bit. All right, vertex form is y, or if you prefer, you can put f of x. Please get comfortable with seeing these 2 interchangeable, okay? They mean the same thing. Y equals a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. Take that in for a minute. I understand that's a lot of variables, a lot of letters, and you're like, oh my goodness. Okay? All right, I want to show you some things that are the same. Look, a is in this one. He stayed constant. And a is in this one. Those 2 things are the same. All right? A is the constant. What does a tell us about a quadratic? Think back. What did we say the effect of a was? A makes it either very wide or very narrow. Very good. All right. The important variables here, well, they're all important, but the ones we're going to focus on are h and k, because that's going to give us our actual vertex. So if you're given it in vertex form, if you're given a quadratic in vertex form, it's actually very easy to pull out what the vertex is. It's just simply h and k. But I want to kind of show you something because, so this is x minus 3 squared plus, I don't know, give me a value for k. I'm thinking 2, okay? The vertex is always written, okay, as h comma k. That's your vertex. That's where the parabola has either its minimum or, if you did it this way, its maximum. Okay, that's the vertex, and it's written as h comma k. So, real quickly, could you tell me what the vertex is for if I gave you just these numbers? Well, what's h? Now, you got to be careful because it's just that number right there. It's always it's the opposite of what the sign is. So, I know it says -3, but it's just the 3. So, it's 3, comma, and then what is k? K was 2. So for that simple example that I purely just made up, okay, if h were this, 3, and k were 2, the vertex, the either minimum or maximum of this parabola would be 3, comma 2. So that makes it pretty nice if you can identify what you're dealing with. Here we go, part 2. Identifying the effects of each part. All right, and some of this is going to be a review. Here we go. Vertex form. Again, there's vertex form. Write it down again. I'm not kidding you. You have to memorize these formulas. Okay? A. Remember what we talked about A? A makes it either wide or narrow. And what if you have a negative A? What's that going to do to your parabola? Is it going to be opening up or is it going to be opening down? It's going to be opening down. Okay? So that's just a quick review. Please make sure that you have that. Okay? Next. Vertex form. Whoop. There it is again. Make sure you have it. Here we go. This you need to make sure you add. A decides whether the parabola is going to be very wide or very narrow. H, that's where the parabola starts left or right. Again, so H was in our ordered pair. Can I go back to that? Let me see. Can I grab this whole thing? I just want that. Yeah. Okay, I'm here. Let's paste it there. Okay, so remember, H was left or right. Who's in H's spot? Who did we normally put in H's spot before today? You never even knew that H should go there. You knew that X should go there. So that's normally in X's position. So it makes sense that H is going to tell us left or right, because on an axis, X is going left to right. That's our horizontal one. All right, K. Before today, who was always in K spot? We never even knew that K existed. Okay, it was normally Y. Okay, which tells us the up and down. So K is going to tell us how far up on the y-axis our parabola has moved, and H tells us how far over, either to the left or to the right, on a coordinate plane, our parabola has moved. This form makes it really nice. If it's in vertex form, why do you think it's called vertex form? It's helping you find the vertex. Okay? So let me get this guy out of the way. All right, here we go. Here's an example. Let me make sure you can see. Oh. Yep. Yeah, you can see. All right. 2. Is that going to be very wide or narrow? He's going to be a little bit wider, or I'm sorry, a little bit more narrow than x squared. All right, where would I start on the x-axis? Come on, am I going to start at -2 or just 2? I'm going to start at just 2 because that negative sign, that subtraction, is part of the formula. Okay, -1. Where would I start on the y-axis? -1. Okay, and make him nice and fat. That's the whole thing, -1. Okay, so my vertex, what would that be as an ordered pair? It would be 2, -1. That's where my vertex would be for that parabola. And here it is. Look at this. So pretty wide, okay, but not too bad. 2 to the right. I had to go 2 to the right, and I had to go down 1. That's where I would plot my point for my vertex. Right there. That's it. Then, what's this line that they have going through it? That's the line of symmetry. Very good. And look at how they've expressed it as an ordered pair. 2, -1. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Here's another one. Well, regular old standard vertex form. Okay. Let me move this into the front. There we go. All right, so I filled this one in for you. Okay. So A is -1. We can put a 1 there. Let me get a 1 so you can actually see that. If there's no number, then it just means 1. Okay. And here we go. Now look at what I've done to you this time. +3. So what is H? Is H 3 or -3? Think about that for a minute. Is H 3 or -3? We know K is what? K's got to be 2. Okay, that one's not hard. But what is H? H is actually -3 because the formula calls for a minus sign. That is standard. That can't go anywhere. It's in concrete. Remember your rules of integers. Keep, change. Okay? Or 2 negatives together make a negative times a negative gives me a positive. All right? That's why we can do that. It's essentially the opposite of whatever sign is in here. For vertex form only. So what would be my ordered pair? My ordered pair would be, where's my vertex? -3, 2. Right there. And look at this. 1, 2, 3, up 2. Right there's my vertex. Can I draw my line of symmetry through that? Yes, I can. Right there it is. Okay? Please make sure you have this. We are the same. All right? It can be expressed either way. All right. Calculate the vertex. Okay, here we go. So the vertex is expressed as h, k. Okay? Here we have h, here we have k. So, what's the vertex of that parabola? You should be able to answer that very quickly now. 2, -1. Okay? Is that a minimum or a maximum? Well, let's think about it. Our parabola is positive. So, where's my pen? So it's positive, so it's going to be opening up this way. So this one would be a minimum. Okay? Very good. Next. Here we go. You do these. The vertex is expressed as h comma k. Whoop. H. K. Let's see. Whoop. Rewrite that. Rewrite that so you have that minus sign there because you know that plus sign is not part of the formula. Very good. What is the vertex for this parabola? H comma k, negative 3 comma 2. What about this one? Is this a minimum or a maximum? What is A? Is A positive or negative? A is negative. That means it's going to be upside down. So it's going to be up here. That's going to be our high point. So it's going to be a maximum this time. All right, that's our conversation on vertex form. Please review this. Again, this is formula number 2 that you have to memorize. All right, it is now part of our math vocabulary.